This is diagrammatic representation of life cycle of a pteridophyte, which shows haplodiplontic or diplohaplontic life cycle. It begins with the dominant phase, which is shown on the left hand side. It is sporophytic generation. It is diploid in nature. A typical sporophyte plant shows rhizome. It is underground stem which produces rhizoids for anchorage and absorption. There are aerial branches arising from rhizome which will creep. They are called stolons, and these stolons helping in vegetative propagation, means several daughter plants are produced by these stolons which are produced from the rhizome. A mature rhizome will produce pinnately compound leaves. Now what exactly pinnately compound leaves we are studying in the next part. If you see the leaf, it has many leaflets called pinnae. At maturity, each pinna is modified as a sporophyll, okay, or the compound leaf is said to be sporophyll, having a mature pinna or leaflet which develops numerous sori at the vein ending. So these are called sori. Now when you magnify the single sorus, it appears like kidney shape or bean shaped. Inside the sorus, these are called sporangia. Each sporangium, when you magnify, it looks like a sac having jacket wall. The cells of jacket wall are thin walled and thick walled. Thick walled portion is known as annulus. Now inside, mother cells are there which undergo meiosis, and by meiosis they produce haploid spores. So sporangium is providing place for the development of haploid spores. Now when all spore develops in the sporangium, the cells of the annulus, which are thick walled, they reduces water content, they become dry, and the wall will break like this. It is called dehiscence of sporangium wall, and with a force all mature spores are released outside. Wind will carry them and helping in dispersion. Wherever the spore will fall, it starts germinating. On germination, it gives a gametophytic stage. It is independent. It has rhizoids, it contains a chlorophyll, and this autotrophic bisexual gametophyte produces gametangia, archegonia and antheridia. Archegonia represents female sex organ, antheridia represents male sex organ. So both archegonia and antheridia produced on the same prothallus. Now this is a plant body reduced in size, so it is compared with the thalloid plant. So name given for this is prothallus, representing gametophytic stage. This particular prothallus or gametophyte will produce antherozoids, which are multiflagellated. These are developing in the antheridium, while archegonium will develop egg. In rainy season, antherozoids having many flagellae, they start swimming in water, and the capsules of the neck of archegonium, they dissolves in water and releases chemical to attract the antherozoids. So antherozoid we call male gamete, egg is a female gamete which is highly protected inside the archegonium. So here only one male gamete, antherozoid, is allowed inside the neck, fuses with the egg. This is sexual phase of reproduction. On fusion, it gives a zygote inside, and this zygote, which will develop by a normal cell division into new sporophyte. Sporophyte producing spores. Spore germinate to produce gametophyte. Gametophyte produce gametes. Gametes undergo fusion to form zygote. This is how 2n and n, diplohaplontic or haplodiplontic life cycle we can see in Bryophyta. With this, hope each and every point is clear. This is Pteridophyta. In Pteridophyta, the plant body is terrestrial cryptogam. It is vascular plant with xylem and phloem. So with this, I think all the points are clear. It includes 4 groups that I already mentioned earlier. So you need to remember names of the classes with one example each. Thank you very much.